Zai, a very good morning, everyone. And now we will be discussing another type of questions in this tutorial. Now, in this tutorial, we have this type where it says this is a certain series that has been given to you, and then they are saying find the sum of this series. Now, first thing what we do is we try and check if the series that has been given to me in the question, if it is an AP series, we apply the AP formula, and then if it's a GP series, we apply the GP formula. So we'll check whether it's an AP or a GP. So to check or to verify whether this series is an AP series or not, what we do is we check the difference between the consecutive numbers, any two consecutive numbers. If they have the same difference or a common difference, then we say they are in an AP. So let's check the two of them first. We have 6, then we have 8, then we have 10, and so on. Then we have 12. So these numbers, they are not fixed, they are keeping on changing. So that means they do not have a constant value. So therefore 100% the series is not in an AP. So then we try the next thing, that is whether it's a GP or not. So again, for the GP, any two consecutive numbers, they should have a common ratio. Like I take any two consecutive numbers, let's say I take 11 by 5, so we get 1 point something. Okay, we take we get 2 point something. 19 by 11, we get 1 point something. So what is happening is that even these values or these answers, they are not the same. So they do not even have a constant ratio. So that means these numbers are neither in GP nor in AP. So then what type of a numbers are these? Because it's neither AP nor GP, so we cannot apply the formulas of AP and GP. But if we closely monitor these numbers that are there in the series, okay, so then if you look at the difference over here, what's the difference 6? What's the difference over your 8? What's the difference 10? What's the difference over your 12? So if you monitor them closely, what is happening is these numbers in the differences. Now these are in AP. That means the difference of these numbers in the series, when I monitor them, they are in an AP. And then whenever you have the difference of the numbers in an AP, there is a way to solve it. And how do I solve it? It's this way. So first we start with, we say let this entire series be denoted by Sn. And Sn in this series, what do we have? The first term is 5, the second term is 11, third term is 19, then 29, then 41 plus dot dot dot, and the last term over here will be an, that is the nth term. So whenever we have to solve this, what we do, we write the same thing, but now the numbers in this series, we will shift it one place towards the right. That's the method to go ahead and solve this. We have to shift this number one place towards the right. When I say shift it, what will happen? Now wherever you have the second term written, now in the new one, what we do is we just go ahead and write the first term underneath the second underneath the third. Like we just shift it once, means from here the 5 will shift it over here. So underneath the 11 we'll write 5. That means underneath the second we'll write the first, underneath the third we'll write the second, and then so on it goes. Is that okay? So that means now what do you think will we get underneath an then? So if underneath second comes first, under third comes second, under fourth comes third, that way upper one will be one higher and the lower one will be one less. Then what will happen? An means, so if I have the 10th term, then what will be the one before it? It will be 9th. If I have 15th term, one before it will be 14. So if I have an, the one before it will be an n minus 1. Okay, and then it'll be a plus, the last one will be an. So underneath an will be one less term, and one less term will be an minus 1. Okay, so once I write this, then we'll have to subtract. The rules is we'll have to subtract. When I subtract, the signs of the lower one changes. All the signs, they change. Okay, so what will happen to these two? They get cancelled out and we get a 0, and over here underneath 5 we don't have anything. We're at 5, then it becomes 11 minus 5 is 6, 19 minus 11, what do we have? We have an 8, then we have a 10, then we have 12 plus dot dot dot. So this becomes an minus an minus 1, and then we have a minus an. So these two I write here, and this becomes minus an. So the minus an, we bring it this side. What do we get? We get an is equals to 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus dot dot dot. We get an minus 1. Okay, now look at this group and look at this group now. Okay, that means this entire series, but just watch them closely. Now if you look over here, so over here we have how many, over here how many terms? So we had one term. Over here also the 5 becomes the first term. Over here the second term is 11. Over here the second term is 6. Okay, third term is this, third term, fourth term, fifth term, fifth term. So we go in the same order. So then what is the last? This is, we have n. So in this series, how many terms we have? We have n terms. Over here also it goes, we have equal number. So this also we have n terms. Over here also we have n term. But what is the nth term over here? The nth term is the entire thing over here in this series. Over here, what's the nth term? It is an. Over here, what's the first term? 5. What is the second term? 6. Over here it is 11, that way. So nth term is an over here, but in this series the nth term is the entire an minus 1. Now if you next step is, so in this series, so from this series, now if I have 5, and if I just go ahead and write 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus dot 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 plus an minus 1. Okay, so we had n terms in this one. Okay, the nth term was this entire thing, so we had n terms over here. But now from this entire series, if I say let's exclude the 5, let's not put the 5 in the group, so we only put this. And why am I not putting 5? Because if I look carefully, these remaining numbers, they form an AP, but this does not form an AP, because if I include 5, then the 5 and 6, the difference is 1. Over here it's 2 2 2, so the 5 is the odd one out, so we take the 5 out and we just leave the remaining. Okay, so that means 5 is out. So now over here, so when I exclude the 5, so what can I write? I have 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus over here. Now the total, we had n terms. So from n terms, if I do not include 5, means we are not including one term. Like for example, if I have a total of, let's say 15 terms, or let's say if I have a total of 15 terms. Okay, I had 15 terms, but now if I say let's not include one term, so if I do not include one term, if I take the one out, then how many terms will I have? Then I'll have 14 terms, because from 15 if I take out one, I'll have 14. If I have 30 terms, from the 30 terms, if I say I don't want to take one term, so somewhere I say let's exclude one term, then how many terms will I be left with? 29 terms. If I have 40 terms, from 40 if I exclude one, what will I have? I'll have 39 terms. Same way, we had a total of n terms. From the n, since 5 is the odd one, we take the 5 out. So the remaining will have how many terms? Will have one less. That means n minus 1 terms. So now in this series, we had a total of n terms, but from there we are excluding 5, means now we'll be left with one less terms. That is, we'll have n minus 1 terms. Is that okay? And then now what will happen is an is equal to 5. Now plus, now this particular thing is in an AP series. Now since this is an AP series, so what can we do is, and now we know that this entire sum, the formula of sum of AP series is n by 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d, where n determines the last term, a is the first term, and d is the common difference. So over here in this series, what do we have the first term as? We have a to be as 6. Okay, so wherever I see a, I'll put 6. What do I have? D. D is 8 minus 6, that is equals to 2. So we have d as 2. But what is n? The most important. So over here, what do we have? The last term, n is the last. What do we have? Instead of n, we have now n minus 1. So wherever I see n in the formula, instead of n, I'll put n minus 1. Instead of a, I'll put 6. And instead of d, I'll put 2. Because we have only n minus 1 term. We don't have n term. And this formula is for sum of n terms. But in this series right now, since we excluded 5, we do not have n terms left. We have only n minus 1. So n over here becomes n minus 1. So when I substitute the values in this formula, I'm applying this formula. So what does it become? It becomes n by 2, means n minus 1 by 2, because n is n minus 1. And then what do we get? We get 2a plus n, and the formula says, it says n. So instead of n, what will I put? I will put n minus 1, and this minus is already there, we put mine. So this n, so it says 2a plus n. So the n, instead of n, we'll put an n minus 1, and the formula is minus as it is, and 1. So we have this. So we have plus n minus 1, and the d is also, and the d is, sorry, 2. Is that okay? That's the formula. So we have applied the sum of your AP series, because now this series is an AP, so we have applied this formula. It's just that A is 6, D is 2, and your N is N minus 1. So N minus 1 D. Is that okay? So then what do I get? We get it as a 5 plus, we get N minus 1 by 2, we get 12 plus, and then this is N minus 2, and we get a 2. So we get 5 plus, you get N minus 1 by 2, and we get 12 plus 2N minus 4, because this will multiply this will multiply this also. So we get till here, and then we carry on. So once we have got this, okay, so what will be the next thing is we'll have to do 5 plus, then we have N minus 1 by 2, and what do we get over here? We get 8 plus 2N, okay, and then 5 plus these two brackets, this will multiply. So this is like N minus 1, this will be multiplying both of them. When I multiply, what do we get? We get this as let's say N minus 1 into 8 plus 2N, the whole thing divided by 2. Now if you want this like 1, we can either go ahead and find the LCM, or if you want, no, I do not want to find the LCM first, I want to solve this, then you can do N into 8 is 8N plus 2N square minus 8 minus 2N, the whole thing divided by 2. So we get 5 by 1 plus, we get 2N square minus 8N, this will give me a plus 6N minus 8, whole thing divided by 2. Now what we can do is we can find the LCM, and the LCM is 2. So 2 5s are 10 plus 2N square plus 6N minus 8. So then we get 2N square plus 6N plus 2 divided by 2. We can take the 2 common, and then we get N square plus 3N plus 1 divided by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled, so we get N square plus 3N plus 1. That is what we get AN as. So once we get the value of AN, now everyone, we've already done in the previous tutorial also, how do I get the sum? Because the question does not mention find the term. It says find the AN term. It says find the sum of the series. So first we find the AN, and then the sums formula is summation of AN, and then summation AN means, it means indirectly summation of N squared also, and the 3 constant comes out, summation of N plus summation of 1. And then we already know the formula of your summation of N square, summation of all these, so we already know that. So we just have to go ahead and apply the formula of this one, summation N square. We already know the formula, that is equals to N bracket N plus 1 2N plus 1 divided by 6, and that's the formula which we have already discussed earlier also, okay. And then plus 3, summation of N means it'll be N plus 1 divided by 2, plus summation of 1 means it's an N, okay. So that is how we go ahead and solve this. Now the next thing what we'll have to do is we'll have to check what will I get this when I open the bracket. What do I get over here? We get first two is N squared plus N, we get a 2N plus 1 divided by a 6, plus we get 3N square, this into this, and then plus 3N divided by 2 plus an N. When I open the bracket of this one, what do we get? We get 2N cubed plus N square plus 2N square plus N divided by a 6 plus 3N square plus 3N divided by 2 plus N, and if there's nothing we put a 1. Now over here these two can be added, and when I add these two, what will we get? We will be getting it as equals to 2N cubed plus 3N square plus N by 6 plus 3N square plus 3N by 2 plus N by 1. What we can do is we can find the LCM now. 6 ones are 1 will give me the same thing, plus 2 3s are 3 will multiply 3N squared plus 3N. You can skip the step and you can directly write 3 into this, and this will be what? 6 into N, okay. And then we get it as 2N cubed plus 3N square plus N plus 9N square plus 9N plus a 6N, whole thing divided by a 6. So then we check 2N cubed, does it have any like terms? No, it does not have. Plus N squared, does it have? Yes, it has. We have 12N squared because 3 and 9 will give me a 12. Then we have N, 9 and 6, 16. We get how much? 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 1 will give me a plus 16n divided by 6. We can take 2n common, so I take 2n common, and then I get n square plus 6n plus we get an 8, okay, divided by 6. Okay, so the multiplication, I hope, is absolutely fine. So that is what we get, and then what will happen is I can take the 2 and the 3, they can cancel, and we will be left with n by 3 bracket n squared plus 6n plus 8. So that is the answer for your sum. So that is how we get the sum of this kind of a series. So it's a little bit lengthy, but if you understand, then it's not that tough also. So this is the kind of sums at times which you will get, where the given series is neither an AP nor it's a GP. So then what we'll have to do is we'll have to go ahead and verify the difference. We'll have to check the difference. Is sometimes it will be in AP, sometimes it will be GP. So sometimes we will be later on doing questions also where the difference, or not the difference, but the ratios could be a constant rather than the difference. We have over here as a constant difference. Okay, that's why it's an AP, but sometimes the differences may not be constant, but the ratios may be constant. If we have the ratios constant, then it's a GP. Then again, there is a different way to approach that. Okay, it's almost similar, but at the end you'll have to use the GP's formula. Over here we use the AP's formula, there we'll have to use the GP's formula. Okay, so that's it for the time being. So later on we'll be talking about other type of questions. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.